brainstorming and sharing ideas is the funnest part of the creative process. We decided to skip the boring part of actually making stuff and just do the fun part. I'm your host, Tom Wolma.
I'm Haley Potter.
I'm Andy McFarland.
And this is Creativity Wasted. I've always struggled a little with my weight, and I get sort of health issues. I've had pre-diabetes from weight. I get acid reflux really bad. And so whenever I gain even a couple pounds, I notice it. And I have I'm in a high-risk cancer category related to that. So I'm always sort of half-assed trying to lose weight. And so sometimes I do silly things to try to lose weight. Like one thing I've been doing is I built video game controllers into fitness machine handles so I could play video games while I exercise. And then the other thing is I saw like a clear box on Shark Tank with like a timer on top, so you can like lock the candy away for a few days. So I bought some of those. So I sometimes use those. But I came up with what I think is a novel idea on like a silly way to prevent myself from pigging out on junk food or whatever. And I call it the ice cream headache machine. And so the idea would be you would have some sort of machine like in your nasal cavity, and it'd be able to tell what you're eating based on the smell. And so if you were eating anything that you're not supposed to, it wouldn't have to be ice cream, just anything, junk food or whatever. It would create coldness and give you an ice cream headache.
Would this be inserted sort of like an IUD or whatever they're called, or
I don't really.
Or would you just clip it up would it be like a clip on in your?
I was picturing doctors would like surgically put it in there and it would be big, so you couldn't like pull it out yourself.
Yeah.
Because then you would just cheat.
It gives you like brain freeze, is what you're talking about, right? So it gives you like brain freeze for eating anything that's not healthy.
Yeah, and it would be continuous. Like, I don't know if I've ever gotten brain freeze. I usually slow down with whatever's giving me brain freeze.
Yeah, 100%.
I can work through it. If I'm eating ice cream or something good, I can work through it. Why not make you just vom right there?
Well, my idea is the brain freeze thing. I don't know. So when you work through it, do you just have brain freeze like steady for 5 minutes? Like, I don't know. Can you continuously have, or does it fade over time?
I guess it's been a minute since I've had it. Usually, I feel like usually it's when I'm slurping on a slushie or something. But I guess you just give it a minute, let it work through, and then keep going.
But in this case, you couldn't. The machine would just keep going with the brain freeze as long as you're eating it.
Then I couldn't. No.
So it's a silly idea. I don't know if it would work. I actually Googled brain freeze, and apparently it's the roof of your mouth has like sensitive blood vessels or something, and it detects the cold. And it's not like actually like damaging anything to have brain freeze. It's just
uncomfortable,
sending the pain signal. So I don't know if something in your nasal cavity would do the same thing, or if it would have to like freeze the entire nasal cavity to get the coldness to the roof of your mouth, or it's just.
I feel like that's a valid prognosis for someone who's trying to lose weight. Maybe they don't fit the criteria to get, surgery. I forget what that surgery is called, but
bariatric, maybe?
Yeah. I think bariatric's the one with the stomach. I think they like shrink. They put bands around the stomach or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you don't qualify for that, maybe you could start with the brain freeze thing.
Yeah, and then I don't know. Also, if it's in there, can you make it so it doesn't like fall down your throat or whatever? My thought is if it was big enough, it would stay up in there. And you could also it could like help you with like if you've got a cold, it could like shoot the snot out or whatever to clear your sinuses or something.
Multi-purpose.
And then the other silly thought I had is, how like because it's gonna be battery powered, so I thought your nose, you could have like a wind turbine in your nostril because you always have like how many mile per hour wind going in and out, you know? So maybe it has like a retractable wind turbine like in
Wow.
your nostril. I don't know.
So you breathing is just generating power for this thing?
Yeah.
I
Nice.
like that.
But
Just
yeah,
be
so
careful when you sneeze, because if you, I don't know.
Yeah, you get like a
you
or
really
something.
totally get electrocuted. Yeah.
Yeah.
or it comes flying out like a wind turbine. Sometimes in a storm, they can break. It cuts up your nose, like gives you a bad bloody nose or something.
But then it also can clean. It's self-cleaning,
Yeah.
so there you go.
You can lose liquid weight that way, I guess, instead of fat weight just by bleeding out pounds
Just
of
by
blood.
bleeding out. Is it that easy?
Yeah.
Right.
Shit.
Maybe because like women have the menstrual cycle, so if they have too much like what's that mineral in their blood?
Oh.
In the blood, like but sometimes men, because we don't bleed as much, there's some disease that some minerals, heavy metals can accumulate in the blood for men where it's not a problem for women. So maybe not lead, but like there's some
Iron.
mineral, iron, maybe it's iron that can accumulate in the blood for men because we don't bleed enough.
I agree.
That's why we do dangerous shit.
Yeah.
Because we have to bleed too.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a silly thought. So I had the idea of putting a machine in your nasal cavity, which is weird. But then I thought, well, if you've got the ability to put electronics in your nasal cavity, you could do all sorts of shit. Like you could deliver drugs that way. Maybe the anti-snoring thing could be in there. Maybe like self-defense, like a thing could come down and shoot like pepper spray out your nose, like outward or something.
Are these all different nose accessories? Nose
Yeah,
attachments?
I don't think you could fit them all in there at the same time, you know.
Not with our current technology, but maybe in another 30 years.
Right.
And then you could have like some nerds want to do like microchips like in their wrist or something. You could just have it in your nose instead.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds like some Elon Musk. It sounds like we need to shoot Elon Musk an email about this. Honestly,
yeah.
He's already on the Neuralink thing, right? He's got the Neuralink thing going. Maybe we can implement that somehow.
That's right. Has that gone anywhere?
No, I think he just killed a lot of monkeys. That's what I read that. I read that somewhere that he's killed like
that's terrible.
Hundreds of monkeys.
I don't think they actually killed the monkeys.
Yeah.
In fact, from what I heard, they can take it out without harming the patient. So I wouldn't think, unless they fucked up a few times and the monkeys died, but I think most of the time it's okay and they can take it in and out somehow. But yeah,
it's interesting for sure. That might be really cool in like 30 years, right? Like 30 years after launch when all the bugs are worked out. And
yeah,
I'm not going to be an early adopter. That's for sure.
No, absolutely not. No.
I actually bought a device once. It puts these probes on your head and it's supposed to read your brain waves. It's just like on your head. It's not like in your head. And it came with a drone and you're supposed to be able to fly the drone with your mind. But I could never get it to work.
Weird.
That is.
But I bought it.
We're on our way.
It's in a drawer somewhere. I did try to play a video game with it too. I couldn't because if you're thinking like forward, left, right, it's supposed to sense like basic things, and you can play a video game that way somehow, apparently. But
we'll get there one of these days. I believe that.
I just thought it was funny, and I wanted to see if I could do weird shit with it. But yeah, I like the idea of the nose thing. Like, why can't we put shit up there? It's less surgically crazy than other things people do, you would think. And one last thought I had on that is I would love to see, like, you might be like just walking down the street and see the most beautiful woman, just like digging like way up there, like, because it's like she's trying to turn it off or whatever. Just like how weird that would
The
be.
power button's on the inside, so you have to go.
Yeah.
You got to go like 2 knuckles deep to turn it on.
Because
Control.
normally it's like a fat, creepy dude, or someone like me or Andy who's like picking our nose in public. But if there's like a weight loss device up there, you might see these like well-dressed, classy women just digging.
Yeah.
And
They got there for a reason. They got there somehow.
So let's wrap it up. Anybody have any shows you want to plug, or podcasts, or things you're doing that you want to promote?
I've got a Demented Peach competition this Saturday at Presidential Brewing down in Portage.
I got a mic at Biggs in Chesterfield this Thursday, and then this Sunday I'm going to be at the Night Spot in Twin Lakes, Michigan, for a 20-minute set, which I'm pretty excited for.
Nice. I run the Plymouth Roadhouse open mic. It's every other Wednesday, so this coming Wednesday we're doing it. I'll also be at the Tiki Bar at Walled Lake on the 26th. So.
Likewise, yeah, well, I'll be there. So definitely.
Cool.
I'm doing the new Lansing one on the 20th. I don't remember what it's called though.
This has been a production of Planet Amp Podcast, powered by Pinecast.